But you're talking about document security now. I'm sorry, Mr. Ogunshakin, you'll have a chance. But in terms of document security within the armed services, we know that in some developed countries, they use an encrypted technological system to transmit some of these bits of information between agencies. Are we lagging behind with this paper trail that we lead?
The problem is in Nigeria, even on an average, enter a taxi, and the amount of information available by that driver driving the taxi to you without knowing whom you are is mind-boggling. We don't understand what security is all about. And it's a major, major issue. Somewhere along the line, in the past, you hear the Americans have so many agents, CIA, whatever, in Nigeria. But now they don't bother themselves. Why? Because all those things are there on the social media. We believe that by sending a document on the internet, that document is secured because you have firewall and whatever. Not knowing that the main server of whatever internet you're using is in the Pentagon, Ministry of Defense in the US. They started it. It was meant for those serving personnel who are in Korea, in Japan, whatever, to be able to talk back to their families. But when they realized that the number of civilians on the system was more than the military guys, they separated the civil, and the civil became internet. Everybody has an identification figure or number that wants to access the internet. Your figure pops up, and once you send a very important information once, you are tagged. We don't understand that, and that's one of the things we are telling most of our soldiers. You can't do that.
Mr. Ogunshakin, what are your thoughts?
I think one of the issues we face here is lack of discipline, because if you're in a disciplined organization, such things should not happen. And the fact remains that in as much as you can have a encrypted code, I deal with a lot of cybersecurity. And in this sense, you cannot fail your own organization, because when you fail you fail yourself, you fail your organization, you fail your country. And I think this is a massive level of failure.
I'm just wondering now, we seem to have identified communication breakdown as one of the major issues that we have faced, and that was even more apparent immediately after the girls were abducted. We first of all heard, oh, they ran into the bushes, oh, some of them have come back, oh, they haven't recovered, oh no, they haven't been recovered. Confusion, just as we saw, with the abduction of the Chibok girls, and it was so disheartening when we finally found out that those girls were indeed abducted. I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts? What are you thinking now that we have lost the first 48 hours, which are critical in any rescue mission? And how optimistic are you that we really can get these girls back without having to negotiate again? General?
Two things. I think one, the Americans and the British said we never asked for assistance in 2014. I was chief of administration then. Now we need to go back to them formally. Please, can you assist us? The Americans have their drones flying all over the northeastern Nigeria. So even if it is from image intelligence, they'll tell you, yes, these guys passed through this place, they went through this place, and whatever. Secondly, the information gathered from those debriefed from Chibok will go a long way.
Haven't you been wondering about it? I mean, why is it that we've had to negotiate how many more times, even though we ought to have been gathering information from those who have been debriefed?
We don't take information serious in Nigeria. It's just like the national identification issue. Everybody, especially those who are living in cities and whatever, if you have a bank account, you have a GSM, you've given your biometrics to somebody. But somewhere along the line, it's difficult for us to gather all these things together and have a pool, a data from which we work upon. It's a national problem. We are paper tigers. We can write something beautiful on paper and whatever, but to execute is a great problem for us. And right now, we need to move fast. One, look for assistance where assistance will be gathered. Two, let us go back to the last information we have from those who are abducted in Chibok. There will be leads. There will be things that we can learn from that. And that assists us in moving on.
Are you optimistic that we can get them back?
Well, if we move on, not a panel to do what? To investigate what happened. Not what do we need to do, but what happened. You are looking at the past. You are not looking to the future. We need to look ahead and look to the future, not setting up a panel to find out who is at fault, what really happened. Yes, that can come to tell us what we need to do, what we need to put in place. But what we need to do right now is what should be agitating our minds.
Prof, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, you have seen the confusion as well. Do you share his optimism that these girls can be brought back?
The optimism at this point is quite small, in the sense that we kept doing the same thing and we keep expecting a different result.
By that, what do you mean?
Yeah, we've not moved on in our thinking, and this area of blame has got to stop. People need to get on with it. We need to have fusion centers in the Northeast where we disseminate information. The intelligence itself, the intelligence gathering process, needs to be revamped. Right now, what we've got is reactive intelligence, where people are basically, and then the timing of the intelligence is slow. Intelligence are supposed to be timely, to be effective, to be efficient, and then to have people at the other end to actually use that intelligence.
How much of this do you think is attributable to kind of an archaic approach to intelligence gathering and ultimately counterinsurgency? Because the reason why I ask is, so many points are made out of this miscommunication here or this lack of foresight and vision in terms of dealing with these issues. And what I'm wondering is how much of this has to do with indiscipline when you talk about the coordination of these various power brokers within the security agencies?
The intelligence gathering activities has to be coordinated. As it is, you have several agencies coordinating the intelligence without actually having one center up. And then the area of competition, you're not supposed to be competing against yourselves, because these are lives here that you're actually wasting. We cannot waste more time, and the time has come now that we need to do something. Right from now, we should stop talking, actually.
Major General?
We have not really come up with a coordination activity. Nobody's coordinating whatever is happening. And like I said, where are the information and fusion center? It is not the services or the agency that should be looking at, look, if you have an information, send it to me.
You're looking at the National Security Advisor.
I'm afraid that we have to take a moment now. I'm so sorry. I have to interrupt that. When we come back, we'll be taking questions from Gimba in Lagos. Please stay with us.